notwithstanding the Home Secretary's answer, she will be aware that the things of which she accuses Mike Savage is equally illegal in the United States of America, and he has not faced prosecution there. So does she realise how ludicrous her ban is? Does she realise the disrepute she has put this country in the eyes of many right-seeing people, and indeed left-seeing people in the United States of America? And does she equally plan to ban Howard Stern, Rush Limbaugh, and other middle-aged, white, ordinary American radio presenters?
Blue Monday, how are you, Blue Monday?
Did the Savage Nation turn off the music? That was an argument going on in Parliament today, where some of the parliamentarians are on to Jaqui Smith, the British Home Secretary, and the fact that she has turned me into a scapegoat, or is trying to turn me into a scapegoat. Now, they didn't say it, but just as Hitler needed the Jews as a scapegoat to get where he wanted to go, in my opinion, Jaqui Smith is using Michael Savage as a scapegoat to placate the Islamists and to cover up her own tracks. Fact is that she makes statements that I have said as though I actually said them. She said, I said certain things that I never said, or she ripped them out of context. She brings up a thing where she says, I said kill 100 million Muslims. I never said that. And I will sue her until the record is straightened out. And you will see what this woman is doing to me. That was said in the context of, should there be a nuclear exchange with a Muslim nation? Would you rather see 100 million of them die or 100 million of our own people die? She took it out of context and said, I said kill 100 million of them. I never said that. Never said that. This is a smear campaign. This is worse than McCarthyism at its worst. Then they say I said a certain thing to a gay man on my radio program. It was never said on my radio program, number one. Number two, the individual in question was not gay. It was another talk show host who set me up during a break on a TV show. This woman is inventing things, or she's being fed things by somebody in the Obama administration or in Media Matters, in my opinion, to the detriment of the British people. Because the truth will come out in a court case as sure as I'm sitting here. We're also talking about Obama meeting with Netanyahu. We're talking about Pelosi's attempts to destroy the CIA. And we're talking about the swine flu cover-up in America. First, Janet Napolitano of Homeland Security tried to downplay the severity of the flu. Then she covered up the country of origin with her friends in the media. She wouldn't say the word Mexico. Then she changed the name of the illness to some technical name in order to get your mind off it. And now again, the lying government is denying the fact that it's spreading, but the flu is spreading. Now, if that's not bad enough, Brazil and China on the top of the Drudge Report are eyeing a plan to get rid of the U.S. dollar and moving to use their own currencies for trade. Would you ever believe you'd live in a time that a country like ours would be so weak? Weak morally, weak spiritually, without leadership? You call Obama a leader? A man who goes and gets on his hands and knees to foreign leaders? A man who apologizes for America's past actions instead of glorifying our past? Apologizes on his European tour, getting on his hands and knees to every dictator on the earth? You think that that's leadership? Yeah, if you're a left-winger, that's leadership. If you hate yourself and you hate your country, if you lack character, and the only thing you have in you is hatred for yourself and your lifestyle, and then therefore you hate the country you're in, and you try to blame your country for your despicable lack of character, you elect a man like him. So now he meets with Netanyahu, and we hear the window dressing comes out. One says this and one says that. But people are speculating that, of course, other things were said, as you can imagine they were. And the issue is, it's only one issue. There's only one issue. Will Israel strike Iran and stop Iran from getting a bomb, or won't they? Now let's talk about this Hobson's choice. If Israel does not strike Iran, and Ahmadinejad, the Hitler of our time, who if you took the speeches he is giving in Farsi and translated them into German, it would be Hitler in the 30s. And yet he's allowed to speak at the UN, he's allowed to speak on Larry King, I guess, the American media, people who foam at the mouth and take drugs at night, psychoactive drugs in order to calm their nerves because they know they're liars and they've destroyed the country, goes on these shows. They don't, not one of them, I remember ABC wouldn't even ask him, did you say that you were going to destroy Israel or not? Did you say wipe it over the planet? They didn't even ask him that. I think, who was it? Mike Wallace? Meatloaf himself did it, wasn't it? I think it was Meatloaf interviewed him. It wasn't Meatloaf Jr. He's not at that level yet of placating dictators. Meatloaf Jr. is not up to that yet. It was Meatloaf Sr. So here we are. No one asks him anything. Comes in and says, I'm going to wipe Israel off the planet. And he's a statesman. He goes to the UN. He spits in our eye. Goes to Columbia University. The students don't say anything. Nothing. Nowhere. But again, here's the Hobson's choice. Israel strikes Iran, where they're developing nuclear weapons, using whatever weapon they have, bunker-busting bombs. Then the world goes crazy and says, oh, those ornery Jews. See that? They're a rogue nation. They have to be stopped. And anything we do to any Jew anywhere on earth and any American who supports them is justified. We can kill anybody anywhere now because look what the Jews did. They're no good. And the Christians who support them are crusaders, and so forth and so on. Now, if Israel doesn't strike and Iran gets the bomb, and Ahmadinejad does what he says he's going to do, he destroys the land of Israel, kills the Jews and he kills the Palestinians. Kills a lot of Palestinians, and the land becomes uninhabitable. So there's no point about a two-state solution. There is no state. The land is poisoned. What does the world do? Oh, God! They play the Hatikva. They show Holocaust movies for about 3 days on CNN. Larry King breaks between talking to one degenerate after another. Maybe somebody would break into a ball game, God only knows, and say Israel was struck by a nuclear bomb and a lot of Jews were killed. And you hear a little music, and you forget it in 3 days. You move on. And the few Jews who survive are allowed to straggle into America. And we make reparations, and it's over with. I mean, that's scenario 2, and Iran knows it. They know the world cares nothing about anybody. It's not just about Israel or the Jews. No one cares about France. No one cares about Germany. Nobody cares a hoot about Turkey. Nobody cares about Armenia and the Armenians. No one cares about Syria and the Syrians. No one cares about Russia and the Russians. Why should they care about Israel and the Jews? They understand that. They understand on the world stage, no one cares about anything. If the man is concerned only about barbecue, pornography downloads, and sports. That's the average American male today. Put the hat on backwards and root for his home team. Take his moronic little son to Little League and then hit a ball. The enemy's teaching him how to cut a throat and rolling in trenches with a mock AK-47, and this idiot's in a ball field with a bat like it's 1894. Take a guess who wins in a battle. The boy is learning how to hit a ball, or the boy is learning how to cut a throat. I'll let you figure that one out, how that ends. That's take me out to the ball game. And if anyone stands up and speaks out against the growing Islamist threat, the entire left wing, because they're suicidal, attack that individual as an enemy of the truth, enemy of freedom, and a racist, and this and that. And so here I find myself in the crosshairs now of this culture clash on planet Earth. Because I'm outspoken, because I love my country, because I'm patriotic, because I put my country first, because I say America first, not last, because I believe in borders, language, and culture, I am being vilified by the vermin in the media, vilified by the vermin on the left, vilified by the vermin on the planet, vilified by those who would have collaborated with Hitler during the 1940s to turn people over to the Gestapo to live another day. The same people are back. And after World War II, the famous pictures of the collaborators having their heads shaved, remember those? You don't even have to shave their heads anymore. They've already done it in advance. I'll be right back.